What if I told you that one skeleton found on the English coast exposes how history itself is managed? Not discovered, managed. The Beachy Head Lady is not just a British archaeological story. She is a warning, because the same methods used to define her identity are used to redefine ancient Egyptian Africans, and to make sure they are never recognized as dark-skinned Black African people. This is not about one woman. This is about who gets to own civilization. This critique is spoken from an African-centered perspective, not to reject science, but to challenge how science is framed, translated, and weaponized. Because when African history is involved, uncertainty is never neutral. It is guided. The Beachy Head Lady shows us how provisional interpretations become public truth, and how quietly those truths are revised when they stop being useful. And when we follow that pattern to the Nile Valley, the consequences multiply. For decades, identity was inferred through skull shape, facial angles, and typology, tools born from colonial race science. Those methods were declared obsolete, but their logic never died. When the Beachy Head Lady was first classified, uncertainty was presented as confidence. When that classification gained cultural value, it hardened into narrative. Later, when DNA complicated the story, the correction was cautious, technical, quiet. That imbalance matters, because it mirrors how ancient Egyptian Africans have been handled for generations. Now we are told, DNA is definitive, but DNA does not speak. People translate it. Ancient DNA is limited by degradation, small reference populations, probabilistic models, and modern proxies standing in for ancient peoples. Yet watch the translation. When results are African, the language becomes cautious, Mediterranean, Near Eastern, ambiguous, but almost never dark-skinned Black African people. The tool changed. The hesitation did not. Ancient Egypt must be clearly separated from modern Egypt. Modern Egypt is a later historical formation shaped by Greco-Roman, Arab, and Islamic expansions. Conflating the two erases the identity of the original civilization. Ancient Egypt was African by geography, population continuity, culture, religion, and worldview, yet it is constantly repositioned as adjacent to Africa, connected, influenced, but never fully African. That is not confusion. That is containment. Ancient Egypt is foundational to philosophy, to empire, to the Abrahamic religions. But for these systems to inherit Egypt comfortably, Egypt cannot be African. It must be ancient, but not ancestral. Powerful, but not Black. Detaching Egypt from Africa allows its wisdom to be borrowed, its authority transferred, and its origins erased, without open theft. This does not require fabrication. It requires careful language. Many names, cities, and chronologies emphasized before the 4th century are stabilized to support later religious narratives. History is written backward, from scripture to archaeology. Repetition becomes authority. Independent African systems are marginalized. Foreign connection becomes necessity. This is not accidental history. It is constructed depth. Ancient Egyptian Africans are depicted, again and again, farming, building, teaching, governing, fighting, worshipping. These are not symbolic accidents. They are population records. Their skin color appears consistently, not once, not twice, across centuries. Foreigners appear too, traders, merchants, visitors. They are always shown as foreign. If non-Black people were the core population, they would appear in daily life scenes. They do not. But DNA says otherwise. DNA does not say race. People do, and they choose how cautious or how bold to be. Egypt was multicultural. Contact does not equal authorship. Trade does not equal population replacement. Africa is being politicized. Africa was politicized the moment it was erased. Neutrality is not silence. It is honesty. African history is diluted. Public trust erodes. Science appears ideological. And Africa is denied civilizational authorship, while others inherit its legacy. Just like with the Beachy Head Lady, corrections come after the damage is done. This is not a rejection of science. It is a demand for courage. If evidence were allowed to speak without fear, ancient Egyptian Africans would not need endless reclassification. Africa would not need permission to be ancient. If this challenged what you were taught, share it. If it raised questions, ask them. Because history does not belong to institutions. It belongs to the truth.